Well, right now we are waiting for a news conference to start in Oregon City. We now know that Officer Robert Libke has died, and it looks like they are about to get that news conference underway. He was the officer that was shot over the weekend, and they will be addressing comments about that shooting or addressing that situation. Also, we're waiting on a massive police procession that is gathered at Legacy Emmanuel in North Portland.
I'm the
and we want to join that news conference
the Oregon
now.
City Police Department. I'm going to start out by first saying that I and the department and the city are extremely proud of the job that Officer Rob Libke did yesterday in what was a very dangerous call in a residential neighborhood. I'm equally as proud of our officers who were on scene with him. There were an overwhelming number of officers who came from other jurisdictions, from long distances when they heard Officer down, and extremely thankful for them for coming and helping, and the job that they did, and how well and professionally they responded to what was really a extremely difficult call. In terms of what we need, we're asking for thoughts and prayers for Rob's family. Also for our officers, for our department, not just our department members, but their families. It's very traumatic for them as well, their husbands, wives, spouses, and children. I want to thank Portland Police Bureau, Clackamas County Sheriff's Office, Lake Oswego, West Linn, Gladstone. I could go on and on about the overwhelming support that we've gotten from our law enforcement community and other community. It's been shocking, the things that they've done for us. I also have to thank the Legacy Emmanuel staff. I've never seen a hospital bend over backwards like this for somebody, and they've made it as good as it could possibly be, and I thank them. The last thing I'm going to say is community support from Facebook to emails to phone calls, flowers, cookies, everything that's come in has really been a big deal, and it really cements how connected we are to our community, and it means a lot. So, the last thing I'm going to say is people may want to know what they can do. Officer Libke was a reserve officer, so he's a volunteer. He gets paid for some things. He did not get paid for other things. There are things that they could use help with. There has been a fund set up through the Clackamas County Peace Officers Benevolent Foundation. There's our Officer Robert Libke Fund. If you want to donate, you can go to Clackamas Federal Credit Union and ask about it, and you can donate, and it will go directly to his family. There's a website, and it's ccpobf.org. That's all I've got.
Thank you. On behalf of the Oregon City Commission and to the citizens of Oregon City, we want to extend our tremendous regrets to the family of Officer Libke. I was on the commission when he was sworn in March 2010 with two other police officers. As Chief Band has mentioned, he was a volunteer. My understanding is anytime he was requested to come out and he was able to, he did. He was very dependable. It represents a tremendous loss. Every year, the last 3 years I've been on the commission, we have a proclamation recognizing Law Enforcement Week and those officers that are fallen. And when I would read the various whereases, one of the things that would always stand out to me was how fortunate we had been until today. We did lose an officer in 1906. We, of course, had officers who have been injured in the line of duty. This is the first person in more than a century that we have lost. And we regret his passing. I want to thank all the police officers for their service and the risk that they take on a daily basis. We don't normally think this will happen, and I guess that's about all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very emotional news conference in Oregon City talking about the death of Officer Robert Libke. He was killed in the line of duty. He died just after noon today. He was 41 years old. He was a reserve officer, which means he volunteered his time with the police department. Police say 88-year-old Lawrence Canberra shot Libke yesterday afternoon as Libke and another officer responded to a fire at Canberra's home. SWAT officers returned fire, killing that suspect. Now, police say that they are thanking the community support. They're thanking the workers at Legacy Emmanuel Hospital, asking for thoughts and prayers from the community. Officer Robert Libke died today. He was 41 years old. And
a massive police procession has gathered at Legacy Emmanuel to escort Officer Libke's body to a Clackamas County funeral home and also the medical examiner. Now, Joel Iwanaga is live there. And Joel, it's a very emotional scene.
Jenny and Ken, you can really see the emotion on the faces of dozens of officers. I want to give you a live look at the scene right here just outside Legacy Emmanuel Medical Center tonight. These are fellow officers who were here at the hospital since really yesterday in support of Officer Robert Libke and his family. Again, since yesterday, dozens of these officers you're seeing right now in this live picture from around the Portland Metro have come by, if anything, just to lend a hand, a caring hand to hospital staff, and most importantly, lending that hand and show of support to the fallen officer's family. We've seen officers and deputies here from Portland. Looking around right now, a live picture here, Clackamas County, Multnomah County, Westland, and of course Oregon City. Now these officers will escort Officer Libke's body from the hospital here. We are actually on North Vancouver Street and North Russell, where that escort will begin. They will escort him from the hospital down to Lincoln Memorial Park Funeral Home, where those services are pending. Now ODOT says to expect delays. There's some rolling shutdowns, for example, right here on North Vancouver on to the Banfield, that's I-84 eastbound all the way down to I-205 south, and we understand that the funeral home is off the Johnson Creek Boulevard exit, so this is right in the middle of the evening commute. You can expect some major delays on local roadways here. Again, Interstate 84, I-205 south. Those rolling shutdowns should begin within the next half hour or so. Again, a somber mood out here from the hospital staff, along of course with officers here. Again, that procession and escort set to begin at any minute. Reporting live here in North Portland, I'm Joel Iwanaga, KOIN 6 News. Jenny and Ken will send it back to you in the studio.
And as Joel mentioned, Oregon City Police do say the procession will have an effect on the afternoon traffic, the afternoon commute. Let's go to Carly Finelli with more on that.
The two main freeways they're using are very busy at this time. So as Joel said, eastbound on I-84 to I-205, where they'll head southbound down to the Johnson Creek exit. So they're going to create some rolling slowdowns there and slow down traffic so that procession can get through. I will keep you updated. Right now, I'm keeping an eye on the traffic on those highways. Everything's slow going as it is because of rush hour, and you can see the eastbound commute here. So that's where they'll be traveling, is right here on this left-hand side, merging onto 205 and then headed southbound down to Johnson Creek. So as you can see, even that southbound commute is heavy on I-205 right now, and there will be a lot of congestion and a big mess there. You can always avoid I-84, use some of the side streets to get to where you're going instead of dealing with the mess on the freeways. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Carly. And stay with KOIN 6 for more on Officer Libke and the investigation. And we want to take a live look right now of that procession that is starting from Legacy Emmanuel, headed toward the funeral home. Again, Carly was saying this is going to create some traffic delays out there on I-84 and 205. But again, hundreds of officers have gathered at Legacy Emmanuel for that procession as they escort Officer Rob Libke's body from Legacy Emmanuel to the funeral home. So we will be continuing to follow that. We have a reporter out there on the scene. An emotional day for those officers that you're looking at right there. And again, that will create some traffic issues tonight. So we will continue to follow that, and we'll bring you updates throughout the show.